you ever thought about going no contact with family, but guilt stopped you? This video is for you. Most of the women I know have been taught that family means everything. Even if family is the main cause of their pain, they tolerate the disrespect, the manipulation, and they carry the pain with them. But at some point, you start to ask yourself, how long do I have to keep abandoning myself just so I could belong to them? This video is not about being dramatic. It's about finally giving you the tools to walk away with peace and not shame. In this video, I will be walking you through how to go no contact, especially when it's with a parent or a family member. We'll go through real life examples as well as what I call the internal transition process: needs, feelings, boundaries, and reinforcement. Let's get into it. And just to ground this in research, sociologist Arlie Hochschild studied emotional labor, and she found that constantly suppressing your own emotions to manage other people's emotions leads to burnout and loss of identity. If you feel like your identity is disappearing, it's not in your head, it's that emotional labor. And when your needs go unmet for so long, it creates emotional pressure that leads to guilt, anxiety, and fear when you try to take up space. Let's start there. When you think about going no contact in this relationship, I want you to ask yourself, what have I been needing in this relationship that I never received? Was it emotional safety? Was it accountability? Or was it even just basic respect? If you slow down and you ask yourself, what do I actually need in this moment? You might realize that you needed safety, space, and peace for a long time. You were just too busy managing their emotions that you didn't notice your own. Unmet needs create emotional pressure. They show up as guilt, fear, and doubt. Let's get clear. Your needs are not too much, and it's okay to say, this relationship no longer feels safe for me. You can't wait for someone to validate your pain for you to start protecting it. Your needs are valid even if they don't agree, even if they don't apologize. Let's start with the guilt. Guilt often shows up when we go against something that we were conditioned to believe. But here's the truth. Guilt does not mean that you did something wrong. It actually means that you're trying something new. If your role in the family were always the fixer, the peacemaker, the one who held it all together, going against that may feel selfish, even if it's necessary for your own well-being. When guilt starts to set in, it's important to name it and figure out what you need. This may look like saying to yourself, I'm feeling guilty right now. What is it that I actually need in this moment? This is your body's emotional alert system going off. It's not going off to punish you. It's going off to bring you back to yourself. Guilt is just a conditioned response. And when you realize it as such, you can stop allowing it to drive your decisions. Try this. Before you decide to go no contact, ask yourself, what patterns have I already tolerated? Go back the last 90 days or even month and make a list and note down the following: where you gave chances, where you kept the peace, where you were hurting but stayed silent, where you minimized your own pain just to avoid conflict. When you see it in black and white, you can stop gaslighting yourself. Instead of saying to yourself, maybe I'm being dramatic, you start saying, I really did try. That's clarity. And from there, you can make a decision that's rooted in the truth and not fear. Let's be clear. Going no contact is a boundary. It's not revenge. It's not punishment. It's protection. When you try to express your concerns, ask for space or just try to coexist with grace and the dysfunction continues, that's not you being too sensitive. That's you finally listening to yourself. To go no contact, give yourself permission to define the boundary clearly. This relationship is no longer emotionally safe for me, and I'm choosing peace even if they don't understand it. You don't have to make a public announcement or write a long letter. This is not about convincing them. This is about freeing you. You've already tried conversation. You've asked for space. You attempted to coexist. If the dysfunction continues, that's your clarity. That's your invitation to choose yourself. Now, here is the hardest part, sticking to it. You might be tempted to reach out. You might get pressure from other family members. People may say things like, but that's your mom. But talk to them. They didn't mean it. Here is what I want you to remember. You've already explained it to yourself. You don't need to explain it to them again. Reinforcing your boundary means staying clear, especially when guilt resurfaces. You don't owe a debate. You owe yourself peace. Here's the script if you need one. Right now, I'm taking time away from this relationship. I'm not available for contact, and I ask that my boundary be respected. I wish you well. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong people. And if you slip up and start second guessing yourself, come back to this. I am allowed to want peace. I am allowed to say no, and I am allowed to rest. This is you reclaiming your safety. This is you breaking cycles, and this is you reinforcing a life you no longer want to abandon. If this spoke to you, please know that this is only the beginning. You deserve support that sees you, and you don't have to untangle this alone. My channel is here to help you. Subscribe for weekly boundary videos. I am coming out with a masterclass and other coaching opportunities, one-on-one calls soon. You've been carrying too much for too long. It's your turn to be held.